Oh, I get it. Raising Dion, like growing up, and then he's raising stuff up with his powers. That's not it. What is up, Netflix fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking Season 1 of the brand new show on Netflix, Raising Dion. I need you in the comments section. Is this a show that you've heard of? And if you've watched it, did you like it? Let's talk about it. So a widowed single mom discovers that her son has superpowers and tries to figure out how to raise him safely and responsibly. This show does not star Michael B. Jordan. Yes, he's in the trailers and he's very prominent because he's Michael B. Jordan, but he is barely in the season. So if you're looking forward to it because of that, it's not the reason to watch this show. If you want to see a show that kind of gives you a new look into a superhero origin story, then you may like this, but be ready for it to be quirky mixed with serious. My big issue with this show, just to get right into it, is the fact that it's so tonally inconsistent at times, because a lot of these characters, when they're talking, just the way that they go about their dialogue, it feels like a character straight out of a sitcom. But this atmosphere and the vibe that you get from the show, it's not a sitcom vibe. It's not a sitcom feel. So I found it a bit difficult to resonate with a lot of these characters. Now, our kid, our lead, at first I'm like, I don't know if he's the best actor. He's a kid. I don't want to sit here and say, oh, he's a terrible actor. No, he was fine, but I slowly started to build more and ended up really liking him and his performance. I like the kid. He's sweet, he's likable, and his classmates, one girl in particular, the scenes that they share together, you're sitting there going, oh, this is kind of cute. And here's what I'll say about Raising Dion. It's a good family show. It's a good show for kids to watch. Now, it may be just a tad bit dark for kids that are maybe too young, but if you're of a certain age, maybe you watch it with your parents and you are a bit young, then I do think this is a show for you, because it is that kind of balance. It's the quirky humor, it's the kind of ridiculous tone at times, and it is extremely over the top. It kind of focuses on things that the kid does, and there are definitely themes in here. Some of them subtle, some of them not so subtle. I didn't find them in your face, which is what I was a bit worried about at first when I started bringing things up. But no, it was fine. They're just dealing with everyday life situations, whether it's the fallout with the principal or, not being good at basketball. So it's like, maybe I should use my powers to be good at certain things. And he's slowly coming into his own. And then they're dealing with what happened with the father in the trailer, not a spoiler, and all of those things come together to create an interesting situation for our kid. And then there's a mystery aspect as well. While everything is going on with Dion, they're trying to figure out what actually went down in Situation A. Don't want to say what it is. And then they begin to discover more things about this universe, and it is broader than they think at first. But overall, this is a story kind of dealing with the mother realizing her child has powers, trying to hide it from certain people. You're getting other people on board, and that's what the show is. Is there anything extra appealing to this show? Probably not. Like I said, it is cute enough at times. For what it's going for, I think the trailer actually marketed it to the wrong crowd, because when I watched the trailer, I said, oh, this is a show that, it gets intense. It's kind of like a Stranger Things. I feel like this is targeting an even younger audience than Stranger Things, because Stranger Things is a show. By the way, there's a ringtone in the show, and it's a Stranger Things ringtone, and I'm like, all right, Netflix. Stranger Things doesn't need to be marketed. Stranger Things should be marketing Raising Dion, because I don't see a lot of people watching this show. But that's what I think they were going for, with a balance that just wasn't as good as Stranger Things, because you have the adult appeal, because there are adult elements. Definitely adult elements within Raising Dion, things that the family faces, and actual threats with CGI that I was questioning, and then I realized how small the actual budget was to pull something off like this, so I'm not going to judge too hard on that. But within a matter of like 30 seconds, they're going from a really silly subplot and something that doesn't feel like it belongs in a show like this to something that is extremely serious, a dire situation, a life-threatening situation. And they do that multiple times, and it keeps happening throughout the show, and I'm just like, I don't think this show knows what it wants to be. Raising Dion is inconsistent. Is it a hard show to binge through? No, it's light. It's quirky. It's humorous at times. The friend that comes in and is kind of a mentor to Dion, I liked him. He provided a bit of levity, a bit of humor to these situations, but other aspects, other storylines, and just the fact that this is such a familiar thing, we've seen it before, even in a movie that's a completely different story, but a movie like Looper that dealt with this young child who could move things with his mind and the telekinetic powers, that kind of thing, dealing with what this show dealing with, and you can kind of anticipate what is going to happen all throughout the series. If that is what you're looking for, and some people will be looking for it, and I do think kids are going to love this show. There are going to be families that sit down to watch this that are going to get a lot out of it, and there are so many emotional moments with our characters that actually worked for me. So I'm not going to say it's a horrible show. I'm probably going to go a bit higher with my score than I was wanting to originally, just because I do think it is it's working well with its intended audience. Didn't do much for me, but I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they do next. Maybe next season will be a bit more adult. I would like that personally, but that's the market that I'm in, guys. I'm gonna go 60% on the dot with Raising Dion. Not a fantastic show. Definitely a show with its fair share of flaws. I can see a lot of people turning away quickly, but I can also see a lot of people enjoying it, and that's why I'm going with the score that I'm going with. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Did you enjoy Raising Dion? Is it a superhero show that you see a lot of potential in? And that's what I'll say. There's potential in this show to see where it goes. Hey, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave it a thumbs up, and thank you guys for all of your support on Patreon. A brand new podcast coming this weekend on the Schmoes Know podcast feed, and that is Clicking and Streaming, where I'm recapping all of the things that I watched this weekend on Netflix. So excited to be doing that show. Thank you guys once again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.